First of all, like, comment, and subscribe. It helps the algorithm. This is SJW Spider-Man, who is legitimately mentally ill. No hyperbole. There's something deeply wrong with him. Seriously full of venom and spite. Just a hate-filled individual who's probably writing names on bullets as we speak. There are a lot of crazy people on the internet, and they all seem to coalesce around Twitter. They used to be on Tumblr, but then Tumblr kicked them off because they got away from their adult entertainment type of thing. So now they're on Twitter, and Twitter allows some of the most sick and depraved things. He has a hard-on for EVS that you would not believe. He makes the comic book hut look like just a piker. It's probably Tim Doyle. I imagine him sitting at his computer in drag. For some reason, I kind of imagine him wearing a dress. Handed out his comic only for people to trash them. Few that were on a stand were overpriced and unsold. Chickened out and left after a day. Is this winning? Well, yeah, it's winning. I mean, even love the guy or hate the guy, you gotta admit he raised $800,000 for an independently funded comic book. He built the audience he built the audience with a lot of help from Comicsgate and Diversity in Comics, but yeah, that's winning. How is that not winning? I mean, being petty and undermine the foundation of your argument is saying things that are just objectively not true. Yes, that's winning. He gave people what they wanted. And there were some minor problems with the book, but the second issue, the Rainbow Brute, I'm sure they will hammer out all those problems. If for first-time books to be a little late, have little minor issues, that's just par for the course. Where's Richard Pace and B. Clay Moore's Big Hawaiian Dick? That's 5 years late. I made videos about that. 5 years late, guys. Saw him hand off a copy of Robotoad to a couple of artists that have definitely called him out on his stuff on Twitter before. What has he said on Twitter that is so objectionable? Why don't you just, quote him, repost him? As soon as he left, they just roasted him and tossed the book in a pile of trash. Mail me your Cyberfrog. I will give you a reasonable price. He was just walking around and no one accosted him? What is wrong with you people? SJW Spider-Man. I don't even want to imagine the things that you imagine when you, how shall I say this, enjoy yourself late at night using tears as a lubricant. I kind of imagine him going to bed crying and waking up screaming. But it was just a mix of people not knowing who he was. Oh, Eve, get fucked. Even Bleeding Cool put him on the list of most influential people last year. Come on, you're just people knowing and not caring. People knowing and happy to throw his trash comic in the can. Send me your Cyberfrog. Send it to me. This dude, a couple months ago, he made 2 death threats against EVS. I saw him for myself. I think I screen capped him, and then I went through his timeline and I found his photograph. He looks like what you'd expect him to look like. Soft-faced, peach fuzz, soy boy, androgynous, what's it called, metrosexual? What you'd expect him to look like. Just, 150 pounds of just never had just soy, just absolute soy. Hell, I did more than him this weekend. How many days is he supposed to go to a Comic-Con? He wasn't selling the books. He was just giving them away and making videos with Cecil and Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers. So much win. Truly, this will revolutionize the comic industry. Okay, this is what someone else was mentioning. That guy who, I think Sergeant Bats, made a video making Comicsgate great again. I haven't seen it in its entirety. I just saw someone posted a clip of it. And something about this concept of revolutionizing the comic industry and saving the comic industry. No, the comic industry is... No, it's over. It's over. Indiegogo and the Comicsgate movement is not about saving the comics industry. You cannot save them. They will continue to publish to protect their intellectual property rights, but they're not... No, those books will never get good. They don't give a darn about making money. All they want to do is push propaganda and maintain the IP rights. They don't have to sell anything a year, and there's always going to be 10,000 people to buy whatever garbage they happen to put out. So you're kind of shifting the goalposts here. Not going to revolutionize the comic book industry. It is starting a new industry Will it replace it? No. Comicsgate is very small. It's 1% or less of the industry. But so what? It's big to the people who get a $70,000 book published. And then, you do 2 of those books a year. And then next year you get a $100,000 book. And then, you know what I'm saying? You keep building your audience. Comicsgate is going to grow. And it's not, we're going to leave these people behind, but we're just not going to pay attention to them. You want to buy your Spider-Man, your Soyderman, go ahead. Clearly, this is just further proof how irrelevant the lamestream comics industry is and how Comicsgate is totally going to revolutionize the way comics work by releasing water-damaged fire starter material nobody wants. Send me your Cyberfrog. I'll buy it. I'll buy it from a very reasonable price. I assume you want to sell it for half off, right? I mean, because you can't get any money for it, so you might as well sell it for half off, right? 10% of face value. Odd. They don't have the Cyberfrog in front of them. Whatever. So he had an opportunity to prove the haters wrong, but instead wasted his time and his precious work. Disregarded and mocked. Most people were very, very happy with his getting the book. A little bit late, but, it's a lot of books are pretty late. No Renfamous. This is the other nut job on Twitter. So successful, the EVS drove to New York City just to beg for attention from actual comic. Cyberfrog did $800,000. His YouTube channel is doing 6 figures. How is he begging for attention? Comic book pros would be, if they were smart, they would drop all this Trump derangement syndrome nonsense. And the thing is, without Comicsgate, I don't believe the comic book pros would be able to do their own crowdfunding campaigns. You have to at least mend fences and make peace with Comicsgate. And just say, hey, we're going to sell a book. It's going to be different. It's not going to be politics. We're just going to sell a good quality product. I think Comicsgate might be interested in. I know we let you down in the past, but we're changing our ways. That's not, that kind of like humbling yourself, it's not that hard to say. If you want to, do you want to make money with your books? Do you want to sell books that people actually want to buy? Because right now you're not doing it. So no, EVS is not jealous of them. They, if anything, are taking him aside and saying, so what's Comicsgate like? How is the Indiegogo campaigns going? Tell me about that. I guarantee there are people who are talking to him in private. They're saying, keep this confidential. But apparently EVS was stalking creators at New York Comic Con, but like all bullies was too scared to actually confront them, is now frothing on social media like he owned everybody. I really doubt, this is Moose Baumann. Oh, you're such a douche canoe. God, you just Amy Schumer's vagina. He says that EVS walked away from him when he saw you. I really doubt it. I really doubt it. Nobody is intimidated by you, Baumann. I strangely haven't seen as many photos coming from. He released videos of him with Cecil and Jeremy. Yeah, you guys are. I've seen several posts about this. EVS discussed me, but the reason I'm seeing this at NYCC is because you're literally announcing he was there. I just thought he was being an ego shit, but people who hate him really keep him relevant. Yeah, they're almost, yes, there's no way around that. There's almost no such thing as bad publicity. Almost. Low life nobody like EVS. Why do you care? See, I'm not, okay, when Mark Waid goes to a convention, when people say they hate Mark Waid, they can point to actual things Mark Waid has done. Namely, defamation, calling customers German socialists of the 30s. Mark Waid has done things you can point to. What has EVS done? Nothing. Everyone was having such a good time, they didn't even notice EVS was there. You know what? They noticed that $800,000 campaign. You bet your ass they noticed that. Finally, someone comes up in his defense, and the thing is, when you talk to these people and you have an opinion that takes you out of their echo chamber, all you do is you just get blocked. So the only way to do is lurk. Otherwise, they simply will block you. Who, if you follow diversity in comics, a long time ago, you were blocked by the pros anyway. EVS said Mark blew through the door, and he and Mark locked eyes. and exchanged a kiss. Mark turned around and headed the other way. Ha ha. So you say there's no photos. Look, there are photos of Cecil drunk out of his mind with EVS. This dude. The weirdest and most unbelievable yet unsurprising moment I had this weekend was effing EVS. I really don't need to hear about that. I don't know if this actually happened. I hope there's lubricant involved because, you know, that could be very, very... Oh, effing EVS attempting to derail a conversation I was having with a favorite writer-artist of mine. I'll leave unnamed so he could promote himself obnoxiously to said favorite creator? What? That doesn't even make sense. So you're saying this didn't happen. This is obviously a story that didn't happen. Or else you say, oh, I was talking to Joe Smith, and, you know, here, I'll tag him in the conversation so you can, you know, he can back me up. But come on, obviously this didn't happen. The GD Batwoman. Anyway, oh, this dude again. This guy. Okay, this dude, he's not anonymous. He has a photo out there. And he put his photo out there, and he looks like I said, just absolute peach fuzz soy, soft, just very, 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 very soft. And he was kind of begging for likes and stuff, so people gave him all these fake compliments, like, stop, you're too old for that kind of thing. And then he says, to be fair, though, a lot of people who are afraid of socializing with social anxiety aren't going to follow EVS either because he's too much. I'm not sure what you're saying there. So, okay, there's this guy, SGW Spiderman, Renfamous, Tim Doyle, some of the other pros, Miss Baumann, they have so much invested in EVS. If EVS's campaign was like $100,000, they probably would have ignored him. It was $800,000. Rainbow Brute, I don't think it's going to do that much because it's not a... I don't know. I don't know about that business aspect of it. It's not. I would assume it's not an established character. It's going to be more like Iron Sight, selling a little bit less. But Cyberfrog 2 is going to beat Cyberfrog 1 because you know that the shipping will be handled, the printing will be fixed, the page count will probably be what he, mentioned, and it will go out on time. So all these people who might have been a little upset about the first campaign, said campaign is going to be fine. Anyway, these are just soy boy pussies. Just, why do you care? Just go back to, I don't know, whatever it is you do. Probably dressing in furry costumes, abusing yourself furiously. Anyway, guys, like, comment, subscribe. I will see you all next episode.